Should we start? Hello everyone. Hello. There's a lot of people here. Okay, so welcome to the meeting. This is the last full meeting, my last full meeting. Thank you, sincerely. There are some mince pies that will stand. I was up all night baking them, so make sure so do help yourself. Okay, so let's crack on. This is the agenda for today. So we've got a couple of presentations for you today. First up, we've got Be Interactive, who some of you may be aware of. I asked them to come along because there was quite a lot of discussion in the industry about what they were doing and how they were working. It would be useful for them to come along and present to everybody today. And then Matt and the guys from the APU want to talk to you briefly about the APU Awards in 2011, and then we'll obviously cover off our usual stuff that we always talk about, which is behaviour retargeting, voucher codes, etc. But we'll also be touching on appointing a brand partner to help us regulate the brand, the paid-for space through the council. And then when we've kind of got through all of the other stuff, we can go for drinks. So that's the agenda for today. So first up, I believe we have the interactive side, and Joe.
Today. There's been a lot of discussion in various formats around our service, and it'd be really interesting to get everyone's feedback today, which is one of the main reasons we're here. But what we are after doing is trying to get across to you a little bit about some of the background, where we've got our product from, how it works, and really try and make sure everyone's very clear about what it is we actually do. So if I can ask for everyone to just hold questions till the end, because I'm sure they'll be answered at some stage through there. The background to Be Interactive, we've got 25 staff based out of central London. We're a fairly new company, but our product has been in development for a couple of years, and in April this year we actually started to take it to market. We've got two key products. One is vCAPTCHA, and vCAPTCHA's got a specific role, which is to develop, to assist companies in recovering abandoned data from registration forms, cards, etc. And on the back of that, we've got a second product called vContact. And vContact's objective is to allow us the mechanism for abandoned data to be contacted. Obviously, professionally developed enterprise software, it's been being developed for a couple of years, and as I said, kicked off in April this year, we started to take it to market. And the reason we came into play is about 60% of all online transactions are abandoned, which is quite a high proportion. So anyone here that does run a website would be aware that that's quite a significant chunk of opportunity. But interestingly, a recent study that came out last month just showed that less than 20% of online businesses have got active campaigns up and running. So it's something that people are aware of, but very few people are actually doing anything about it. And the reason we think it's so important is we sort of did a bit of analysis. I hope this is all fairly clear. I'm sure you'll all agree. When people leave, they've got three choices. One is they can actually go back to the website, complete that purchase. Second thing is they can go to a competitor. And the third thing is that they choose not to purchase at all. Okay, so from our analysis, and we've got a reasonable level of clients on board, so we do have some good statistics to back this up. We know that the natural rate of return is typically 8 to 10%. So that's about 8 to 10% of people that leave will come back to complete a purchase. But on the back of that, you can imagine 90% of people are in that second and third category. So we thought there was quite a big prize there to develop something that could tackle that. So looking at people's traffic today, you've got a number of ways that traffic gets driven to websites. Obviously, you've got your standard SEO, search engine marketing, which I think you'll all agree about 7-8 years ago was kind of the new thing. People starting to look at it. Now it's second nature. If you don't have a website and do that, then you really struggle. But affiliate relationships have also come to the fore. Relationships with affiliates that drive traffic. You've got your offline advertising. Not every business engages in it, but quite a few of them do. And then you've got your PR, branding, word of mouth, more your traditional marketing. So probably businesses that have been around for a little bit longer will work there. So essentially, there's a lot of investment in driving traffic to the site and building relationships to drive traffic to the site. There's absolutely lots of investment now in making the purchase easier. So I think that's the next stage from SEO. So optimizing websites, making checkouts smoother, slicker, postcode finders, etc. But there's little investment in actually converting the abandonees. So the traffic that's coming in little effort in converting them at the back end. And I think this gets on to where we look to help. We're not looking at every person that goes to your website or the websites. We're looking at the 90% of customers that go to a website and then choose to abandon without the intention to go back and purchase. I think that's a really important point, and I'll explain how that works. So we're looking to recover lost customers, the revenue, which is naturally, obviously going to improve the conversion rate. But through this process, it's a way for people to get new customer acquisition, to drive them into part of their CRM processes. And obviously, some may agree, some may disagree, an enhanced level of customer experience. And we've probably got arguments from both sides there, but essentially we feel that if it's done correctly, this can certainly add to your customer experience. So I'm going to deal with two things that seem to be very, very topical, and we've had a number of discussions with a variety of senior people in networks, also in affiliates and with merchants to discuss this area. And I've chosen to go down this route first rather than privacy, so I will get onto privacy in a second. But in terms of cookies with the affiliates, we work with the affiliate network to ensure that we do not overwrite existing affiliate cookies. Okay. Now, I'm going to raise that as a bit of a caveat because we are developing technology ourselves in-house to make sure that we don't need the network support here. But at the moment, this is being done with the network support. Okay. And in the instances when this was brought to light that there was an issue with cookies being overwritten, immediately our first step was to make sure we took steps to rectify that and make sure that the affiliates that were involved in that process were actually well looked after. I am going to raise another point here, and this will be open for discussion a little bit later. From the analysis that we do, actually less than 50% of the incremental sales we drive to people's websites bother to use the click links in the emails that we send. So we've got very strong numbers to prove that we're actually driving a very high number of people back to site through our emailing. They're actually going on to complete a purchase, which may have actually been influenced by an affiliate in the first place, or by the customer's own marketing. Okay, so I think it's quite an important point, which anyone will come back to and talk. So, as I said, credit for the original cookies given back to the affiliate that drove the traffic. And we work really heavily, and I think this is another key point, we work really heavily to try and optimise any sale that's potentially driven to the customer's website. So as a company, we look after the merchants to make sure that we're giving them as much incremental revenue as possible, and on the back of that, affiliates actually get rewarded for that as well, which obviously in turn rewards the networks as well. So privacy, which seems to be the other real topical part of this kind of remarketing, I think this is going to be certainly on the agenda for today. We've done a lot of investment in the legal aspect of what it is that we do, and there are certain things that obviously a customer has to adhere to. Our privacy terms and conditions are very clear, they're stated on the website. We've got legal contacts with LG, who are our retained lawyers. We've actually investigated this and given us a statement about how the privacy terms and conditions need to be applied to the customer's website. We're very transparent about that. But firstly, the email, and this is really important, must be addressing the issue of the abandonment. It's not a generic marketing email. We don't spam, we won't send out multiple emails. Everyone will only receive one email to one email address relating to a transaction. Okay, so that's one of the really important points about our technology. The second thing is the data that is captured does not form part of the merchant's database. Okay, it doesn't go back to the merchant. The merchants are not allowed to incorporate it into a CRM system. They're not allowed to take the email addresses. They're not allowed to take any of the other data and incorporate that into their systems. So that's another really important point, and again, one we stress to our customers. And as I said, mentioned it already, sorry, but each email address only receives a single email. Okay, and the reason that is in place is because it's specifically addressing an abandonment, and it's the reason a person entered the website. Normally, as long as their terms and conditions are updated with our suggestions, normally in that instance, we don't need a client to opt in. If we're going to send multiple emails, it's a different story because it is a marketing process then. Okay, this is a single email addressing the specific abandonment. And obviously on our website, beinteractive.com, we've got a really strong privacy statement, etc., which we do pass to all our merchants. So just to let you know how our system works, I won't give away too many trade secrets, but it's really easy for merchants to get on board with this. Okay, Be Interactive joins the program. We do this for existing affiliate networks. The commercials are all in place. There's no sort of time lag between us visiting the merchant, trying to explain what we do, getting things up and running. Everything's in place and available to be done immediately. The merchant puts a little bit of script onto their website, which only goes through the checkout process.